name is Shehab. Today I want to talk to you about programs and how different they are from projects. A lot of people work on different initiatives. Some are large, some are small, and they're not really sure if these are programs or projects. Now, you may be wondering, what difference does it make? Does it make any difference if this was a program or a project? In reality, it does, because projects are planned the way we've been trained to plan them. We start with the project charter, identify stakeholders, collect requirements, and then you go and develop the scope, the schedule, the budget. Now, programs are a little bit different. They're actually defined in terms of the outcome. So let me just expand on what projects are, and then we'll talk about what programs are. So projects, these are one-off. They deliver a product, service, or result. An example would be what you see here. It's a house. So you build a house and you hand it over and it's done. The profit or the gain from this property isn't really your responsibility as a project manager. You just hand it over to whoever asked for it, or it could just be yours. So you see that projects aren't really focused on profit. That profit is really the operational aspect of it. Programs, on the other hand, they're much larger and they have multiple components, and they are there to deliver a benefit. So a benefit that would probably happen over time. They're not, something that you get the total outcome at the time of handover. So if I built a house and I hand it over to you, that doesn't guarantee that you have anything to gain. Programs, I'll give you some examples. They could be like large oil and gas production programs. For example, I want to be able to have a throughput of that many barrels per year or per month. The program could also be something like beating plastic pollution program. There is no one project that you can work on that will beat plastic pollution. You're probably all aware that to beat plastic pollution, there's got to be some legal aspects where laws are instituted, and then there's got to be some engineering aspects, some change of habits for people, some maybe retail related like restrictions where they're not allowed to use that plastic, as well as cleanup processes or cleanup initiatives that need to be implemented. So you can see that there's a lot of parts to this. It's not just one product that you have to deliver. What about if you had a program for senior support? So for example, the seniors in your community, you want to keep them healthy, you want them to have activities, you want to provide nursing care, you want to provide, a partner, someone that could, take them out for a walk or keep them busy, maybe some, work-related stuff where they can still contribute to society, minimal amount of work. So there could be some programs instituted, and it's never going to be just one thing that you hand over and you say, here's your senior support item. There's no such thing. All right. Now, it could also be a large IT rollout. So for example, the rollout of 5G, that's a program. That's going to take a lot more than just one project. It's going to be, number one, regulations, adoption of this new technology, changes in engineering, maybe multiple ports or satellites or whatever 5G takes for it to happen, and then it has to be adopted by retailers like AT&T and other local providers, telecom providers. Then there's the hardware that needs to happen. So it's going to require lots of pieces and parts for 5G to actually be rolled out. So what if you've been assigned a task and you're not really sure if you have a program or project? What I have here is a checklist of 5 different characteristics that you could look at that will tell you that something is more likely a program. And here they are. Number 1, programs are defined in terms of benefits. Let's think about the pollution program, right? If you're trying to reduce the use of plastic, this is not going to happen by devising one machine and hand it over. This is going to be a lot of legal work, change of habits, change in ways that companies produce products, how they package them, new engineering that needs to come into play, and enforcement by legal authorities. So if you look at all these pieces, they tend to give you a benefit, but it's not going to be immediate. The day I hand over all of the pieces and say, here, I have all of the components ready for you, they don't immediately give you an outcome. you need to wait a year or two or more to start to see these benefits. So we say that the benefits don't happen immediately, they happen over time. Number two, programs have a longer duration. They tend to last for several years. Projects tend to end in about a year, year and a half to 2 years. Programs can last for like 5, 10 years. A charity program that we set up could go forever. As long as the program can be supported, it can go on and on. An educational program can go on forever. Any programs that are beneficial, maybe a wellness, a wellness program at work or work-life balance program, if that's successful, that program can last for many years. So programs tend to last for a much longer time than projects, but they do end at some point. Number three, programs are made up of 2 or more major project components. So a project in itself would not have underlying projects. Yes, you can outsource pieces of a house to subcontractors, but the pieces are not usable on their own. Like you don't use the plumbing on its own. It does not exist unless the house actually exists. Electrical work doesn't exist on its own and survive unless you have a house where the electrical work is going. But programs have separate pieces that live on their own. So for example, for the pollution example, if we set the rules or the laws, regulations, these can suffice on their own. And also the engineering aspects, if we do them alone and we come up with a new material that is used instead of plastic, that can survive on its own and can give some benefits. So the components of a program can give you benefits on their own, but the combination of all of the components is what gives you the total benefits of that one program. Now you may ask, what if I don't design the program correctly? What if there are pieces of this program that are missing? Well, if we leave out any piece of the program will still be partially successful. It will still hand over something usable. Think in terms of this pollution program, right? What if all we do is set laws and regulations? We will get a reduction in use of plastic. What if all we do is clean up the oceans? We will still get a benefit, but it is better if we can change the habits of people, if we can get companies to develop new material that is biodegradable and add those components to it. So the more the components are designed to have a complete solution, the better the outcomes will be over time. But the outcomes definitely will not happen immediately. They happen over time, but you'll get more results if you have all of the components in. Well, what if you're not getting the results that you want? Can you change the scope? Yes, you can. In a program, you can easily change the scope. You can cancel initiatives, projects, add operational activities in order to get better results. So if this pollution program, for example, does not give us the results that we're looking for, we can easily add additional initiatives and then remeasure at the end of another year and then check if we're getting the results that we're looking for. So that's what programs are, and that's how different they are from projects. If you have an initiative on hand, just check it across these 5 characteristics, and if you see that it matches these characteristics, you may want to look into how to define it better. Programs are defined a lot differently from projects. They have a business case. Although projects would have a business case, programs rely heavily on the business case. They have a roadmap of, maybe like a vision plan of what you can expect over time. But most importantly is that they have the benefits defined as a certain gain over time or decrease over time that the organization that started the program feels are strategically important. That's quite different from projects that don't really have anything associated other than what the deliverables should look like. Hope this was beneficial and helped you understand the difference between programs and projects. I do have additional videos on programs and projects. Please feel free to go check them out. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, like it. If you think others could benefit from it, share it. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and hit the notification button so you'll be notified when I have additional videos. Thank you for watching and hope to see you on the next video. Bye-bye.